we continue too much further, you know, for those of you who have heard me speak before, I'll close my eyes when I ask this question, and someone can tell me how bad it was. How many of you listen to my radio show on Sundays? All right, thanks. Who the hell is this guy up here anyway? All right, so it does air on Sundays, 12 noon to 1 o'clock. And the thing I'd like to tell you about the radio show is this. A lot of people ask me, I left radio a long time ago, and I came back to radio during the 2008 campaign, right before President Obama was elected. And I came back for the sole reason, not because I enjoy being on the airways, and not because there's any ego in me whatsoever. I have other things I'd rather do, like many of you. I came back because it was the one little thing I could do. It was the one little thing I could do because I knew I've done it before, is to put a radio show together, put policies together, put principles together, and do that radio show. And what happens is many of the people that you've seen come up here to speak have been guests on that radio show early on, and they continue to be supporters of that radio show. So I would encourage you, not for me, but certainly to help out what we need to be focusing on in November, is listen to that radio show, and every week you will find something else new. I will give you a tidbit of information that helps you move the conversation in the right direction. And this next person was a person who was on my radio show pretty early, and I was glad she came on. Of course, I'm talking about Senator Nancy Stiles. She's our current sitting senator. She's well known to her constituents in the Seacoast, having served 3 terms in the New Hampshire House before being elected in 2010 to the New Hampshire Senate. She was born in New Bedford, Massachusetts, but we appreciate it when she moved up here. Earned her bachelor's degree in business at the University of New Hampshire. Nancy's pre-political career was in the Hampton School District, where she served as the Director of Nutrition. She chairs the Senate Standing Committee on Education and is assigned to the committees on Public and Municipal Affairs and Transportation. Senator Stiles lives in Hampton with her husband, Howard. The couple has 3 children, and ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your senator, Senator Nancy Stiles.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm going to have to find the person that said that I was born in New Bedford. I don't think I've ever been in New Bedford. I was actually born in Newport, Massachusetts. So I haven't moved that far. First of all, I would like to thank Diane. You can tell she always pulls out a phenomenal crowd. And I would have to say that she is one of the jewels in the Republican Party, because she does. Every Republican in the room here would agree with me that our focus needs to be on jobs, the economy, and economic development. And the Senate has focused on that this year. We spent a lot of time on the budget, trying to get our arms around the budget, having to make some very tough decisions, some decisions we didn't want to make, but we had made the promise that we would live within our budget, and hopefully by the end of the year we will have accomplished that. As far as economic development goes, we have a perfect example down the road at Hampton Beach, where an investment was made by the state of $14.5 million, and we are now seeing the businesses across the street also investing in their businesses. The economic analysis of that was that it would generate $2 million annually, more than what we currently receive from Hampton. Scott Morgan's been over here with the chamber. Will tell you that the business community is out there working every day to change their face on Hampton Beach, to rejuvenate Hampton Beach. And while I'm on that, I would like to invite all of you, every one of you, to come to the ribbon cutting ceremony, which will be on June 1st and June 2nd. And we plan to have a big gala there. So please come down for the ribbon cutting of that ceremony. I had the opportunity to work with Senator Prescott from District 23 on a jobs fair held over at Great Bay Community College this past spring, which was very successful. And after that, we saw 2 great businesses move into Pease. Now, I'm not saying it's because of the job fair that they moved into Pease, but we are seeing businesses coming into our state. One of them being Ion Bond. It started out as a small company. There are about 50 employees there. They actually coat metal. And in my conversation with the owner of that company, he is looking forward in about 3 years to bringing his business out of New Jersey up here, which coats metals for the medical profession. That will bring in about 300 jobs. We also saw Sig Sauer from Exeter moved over into the old Celestica building. So we are rejuvenating ourselves in this area. I think the federal unemployment rate is about 8.1 at the moment. And in New Hampshire, we're at about 5.2. So we're doing well here. I know there are a lot of people without work, but we're not as bad as some of the rest of the country is. And I would like to thank Congressman Ginter, if he's still here. He may have left to go to his next event, but he has really been working hard down in Washington to carry New Hampshire's values down there. I received a letter from the Rye Selectmen just this week with great concern about the statewide property tax. And if you recall, this past year I had the opportunity to work with Senator Roush in the development of the new education funding formula, where we repealed the statewide property tax. So the statewide property tax going forward should not be there. However, we also have a constitutional amendment that both the Senate and the governor has agreed on, has gone over to the House. The House has asked for a committee of conference, and I'm pleased to tell you that I've been asked to sit on that committee of conference to work so that we can bring a constitutional amendment out of the legislature this fall, put it on the ballot in November, and give the people a chance to vote. Now, it's critically important that we have that opportunity, and it's critically important that we pass that constitutional amendment to allow the state to take its money and invest it in those communities that do not have the tax base to bring all of our students up to adequacy. Otherwise, we're sending it to every single community. And if we continue to do that, you can be pretty sure that that statewide property tax will come back. During the redistricting process, I should say District 24 lost 2 towns, Portsmouth and Newington, and we picked up 5. So it moves the district a little bit south, pick up Stratham, Seabrook, Southampton, Newton, and Kensington. And I plan to run again, and I hope that I can count on your support in Rye. Rye is still in the district. Newcastle, Rye, Northampton, Hampton, Hampton Falls, Seabrook, Greenland, Stratham, Newton, Kensington, and Southampton. So I thank you very much for inviting me here today. I look forward to working with all of you as the campaign proceeds, and I hope I have the opportunity to serve you again.
Thank you, Senator.
GrokTV.